Now, call me miserable, but I'm not a fan of all this snow. Once you get over the initial, oh, doesn't it look lovely, it's an absolute pain in the backside. We in the UK are just not equipped to deal with it. So I was determined today was just going to be like any other day. I was going to get on with my day and I was going to go to the gym. But having cleared the car off, it's not only is it snow, it's sheet ice over the top of it. And watching the people walk up and down out here, there's no way I'm getting through. So I've just checked the news and there's cars blocked everywhere. I'm not going to be another one of those people sat on the news saying, oh, I didn't realise it would be this bad. I've been sat in this traffic jam for 8 hours. No. So instead of that, I've cleared the car, I've cleared the driveway, and that's pretty much been a workout in itself. So next job is to clear the other car off, because I know if I don't do it, this rain that's just started is going to freeze on top, and I won't be able to clear any of it tomorrow. So that's going to be my workout this morning. And then when I've done that, I want to talk to you about the Hyundai Kona, which is finally, they've announced all the details about it, and it looks an absolutely stunning vehicle. But more about that when I finish my workout. Right, well that's it. Try as I might, there's no way I am going anywhere today. The snow's really soft underneath and it's really icy on top, and the roads have been packed down so much now they're like an ice rink. I don't need to go out. The kids are having great fun playing. We've been snowball fighting and making snowmen, so we're all in for a warm-up now, which gives me a chance to tell you about the electric Hyundai Kona, which we've all been waiting ages to hear exactly what it's all about, because as far as SUVs are concerned, or I think this one's going to be called a compact SUV, there aren't any. There's no electric vehicles. There's the Model X is probably the only thing that even remotely resembles it, which for most of us is way out of our price range. A Hyundai, on the other hand, is definitely, you know, an obtainable vehicle for the majority of us, which is really, really nice to see. So this announcement hasn't given the price, but I'll come to that at the end. I think we've got a reasonable idea of where it's going to sit in the market. But for me, the really nice thing is there's going to be two variants of it. The first is what they're calling a long range model. Now it's going to have a 64 kilowatt hour battery, which under the WLTP testing is just short of 300 miles. Now that test is definitely one of, if not the best test that we've got, or the most accurate one, but it's still not perfect. You could reckon on 250 miles, I would suggest. Obviously, it depends how you drive it. Could be a bit less, could be a bit more, but bank on that figure and I think you won't be far wrong. Now, it's going to have a 204 horsepower engine, so it's going to do just over 100 miles an hour, and its 0 to 60 time is around about 7.5 seconds. So, you know, that's a rapid car for the size of it, and you know that in that car is going to be the usual Hyundai bits and pieces. They tend to push technology on a little bit, so from what I can see, it looks like there's going to be a head-up display of some description, all your connectivity for your phone and all the other bits and pieces that you would expect. But more about that as and when I get all the details and hopefully get to sit in one, and I'll be able to tell you a bit more about it. So that's a long range version. The other version is, for want of a better word, a basic version, but a shorter range. Now that's going to have a 39 kilowatt hour battery, which should be good. Again, WLTP 186-ish miles they're talking about. Realistically, I'd suggest 140. You'll get more out of it than that, or you get less depending on the driving and the conditions. But you know, that's a decent amount of range. That's a Nissan Leaf range, the new one. So it should sit in quite nicely in that market. That's got a 135 horsepower motor. Now they've both got the same amount of torque, which is 395 Newton meters, which if you transfer that across, that is the same amount as a Porsche 996 GT3, which isn't a sluggish car. So, you know, that is a decent amount of torque in something that effectively is a little family car that you could go to the shops in. And this is where electric vehicles really do excel. You can put an awful lot of power into a very normal car at a very reasonable price. So that's great. As far as release dates are concerned, we're looking at the end of this year. So I've seen December banded around, but certainly the fourth quarter of this year is when you can expect to see it being released. Now, price-wise, the long range one, you're probably going to look to pay in the region of £30,000. The shorter range one is going to probably be mid 20, 25, £24,000. So again, you can see it's certainly the shorter range one sits quite nicely in that market with the new Nissan Leaf. The longer range one, clearly there is nothing else in the market at the moment that touches it in that price segment. Yes, as I said before, we've got Teslas, but at the moment, if you want something that's going to do 250 miles in a compact SUV, there's not really anything else out there. Nissan are talking about bringing one out at some point. We don't know much about it at the moment. So it's a segment of the market which is massively popular. They sell so well, certainly here in the UK, that I can only see this being a huge hit. The downside is, as I mentioned in previous videos, when they first announced this, they said that the numbers that they're going to produce are going to be limited. Now, whether that's changed in the meantime, because that was a good few months ago, we'll wait and see. I've tried to get an answer out of them, I've messaged them, and I'm getting very vague responses, which says, in essence, we hope that we can produce enough. That says to me that they're maybe still holding off. And I think the main reason is they've cited not being able to get hold of the batteries before. Actually, I think what it is that the cost to make an electric vehicle is that much more still than it is to make the equivalent ICE one, that actually they know if you've got a 250 mile electric vehicle, people are going to definitely buy that over your petrol or diesel equivalent, but you're not going to make as much money on it because you can't increase the price that much more. So I think with that in mind, they will probably keep those numbers low until the costs of the batteries effectively start to come down, and then it brings it more into line, and then you'll probably see production ramped up. But if you can get hold of one of those, I think you're going to be very happy, and I certainly hope I can get hold of one just to have a test drive in, if nothing else, because to me that looks like a brilliant package. But that's it for now. I've got to go make some more hot chocolate because it's freezing here and we need to warm up a bit. Hopefully that's given you a little insight into what's to come, and fingers crossed that they do start making those in the numbers that we want, and we see plenty of them on the roads very soon. But until then, thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, remember to like and share it. If you're not doing so already, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at EV Opinion. I'll see you again soon. Take care.